Wars podcast, and on your screen today is a picture of a pin for Empire Day from Star Wars. Seeing how Christmas is coming up, I see it fit to talk about some Star Wars holidays. So, in today's episode of Star Wars podcast, we're going to talk about Empire Day. Empire Day, first of all, is actually something that started out as non canon, meaning it wasn't in anything that was originally in the movies or any television shows that was released in or first recognized as Star Wars Holiday in a video game. But in the most recent episodes of Star Wars Rebels, we have seen this become canon, which is to me kind of cool because the fact that they're recognizing non-canonical things in Star Wars and making them canon shows that they're not disregarding the expanded universe completely. They're mainly going to be disregarding stories that don't match up with the kind of stories they're going to be telling, but details such as Empire Day or maybe this small story over here or whatnot may still be recognized. So that's just something I thought I'd like to touch on in Star Wars The Clone Wars television series. You also saw a lot of this kind of stuff happening too. So this is just one example of that. Next thing is why this was celebrated. This was celebrated to show the creation of the Empire after the end of the Clone Wars. If you think about it, at the beginning, the Empire was highly celebrated. It was seen as peace. It was seen as no more war. You have had war for 5 or 6 years at this point. I think it was actually 3. I'm not sure on exactly how long the Clone Wars were, but the Clone Wars touched every single side of the galaxy. And it wasn't just a war between two sides, it affected the citizens as well. In the formation of the Empire is seen as awesome. It is seen as a good thing when it first starts out. And Empire Day is to celebrate and keep the Empire's hold on the galaxy and show, hey, look, we're not all that bad. Even though in truth they are completely evil. Empire Day is often going to be celebrated with parades, awards, and showing off new weapons. Basically, as a way to, as we see in our own world, is probably a better way to say, as we see in our own world. For example, with Hitler's regime, he'd hold many parades with armies marching around, and he would, I guess, give out awards to high-ranking officials or people who did good stuff, kind of like we do with war heroes nowadays, even in non-military regimes. Or they might show off new weapons, stuff like that, that keeps the stronghold on the Empire down, but also doesn't make them seem like the bad guy. That's the whole thing around Empire Day. It's to show that the intent behind making the Empire wasn't completely bad. That this is where we came from, and you guys better appreciate it. And look, if you don't appreciate it, we got the forces to take you out. So cheer it on. Even though by the point of 15 BBY, people were no longer celebrating it. Actually, no, 5 BBY. People were no longer celebrating it. 15 BBY, there were probably still people cheering about because it was only 4 years in. As the Empire was created around 19 BBY. By that point, the stronghold of the Empire had been shown, and oftentimes the Imperials had to force them to cheer. But still, the basic premise behind it, maybe even if people didn't agree with the Empire, was to show them their power. Because if someone knows your brute force and power, they are less likely to revolt. And that's what the Empire was afraid of. So, on the creation of the Empire, they celebrated it to show its goodness. So that's Empire Day. Tell me what you think about it. Next episode, I'm thinking about doing another Star Wars holiday, Life Day celebrated by the Wookiees. Let me know other possible topics you want me to do. This is till Christmas. I'm going to see if I can stick with Star Wars holidays to go with the theme. And see you guys later. Minecraft Indiana signing out.